I keep my circle so tight, so small, because a lot of the times when people, it's usually for their own benefit. So you need to question, okay, what do you bring to the table? Oh, I'm bringing this, and what do you bring to the table? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. There'll be a lot of people who are jealous of you as well.
Well, that's why I always pray. You've got to keep evil eyes real, and you've got to keep yourself protected. It's so, so important. And another thing that I don't believe in is, like, for example, I don't flaunt my personal life, as in my, my family, my husband, all over social media. There's no need for it.
Yeah.
For me, my business, it's my business page. That's it. It sells hair and makeup repeatedly. I've got a TikTok shop. Other than that, jealousy is real. Sometimes it can come from a good place, and it's envy, and people want to be. They forget the journey that you've been on to get where you are. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And how much energy, time, how much money you've put into marketing.
Of course.
I mean, I've paid for spreads in magazines that have cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I've had times when I've tried to give young girls an opportunity, and then they've gone behind my back and they've teamed up and tried to poach on your clients.
It's not nice.
It's not nice. But those kind of people, you don't gain anything in the long run, because business is ultimately about building trust. When you've built that kind of trust, it's priceless. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's pure basics.
Yeah. So it's happened to me numerous times where girls have reached out. Oh, Farida, can I help you with hair? Can I help you with the makeup? Can I help you? And then before you turn your back, before you know it, they've gone behind your back and teamed up with one of the other girls that you've kind of introduced as well. And so now I just concentrate on going out and doing the work myself, and my husband does all the driving, so we can spend some wonderful times together. And it's great. Yeah, he does a big part of the workload, as in helps create the padding, goes out to the warehouse, stocks up all the stock. He's my biggest strength, my biggest supporter. So now I just sort of, it's really important as well that you don't chase the pound. I want to, like, for example, when I go out to do hair and makeup, I want to keep the numbers just so that you can enjoy the work.
What do you think the difference was where your parents had a meat shop and done a business together and it broke them? And you're doing your hair and makeup and you're doing that together with your partner, and it's actually making the bond stronger.
Yeah, basically it was a marriage of convenience. Let's just put it that way.
Sorry, who had the marriage of convenience?
Me and my husband had a love marriage.
Okay.
Yeah. My parents' marriage was a marriage of convenience.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
So basically, my mum held the passport, and my dad, their marriage was never ever going to work ever.
So do you? What do you feel?
And when you've got a business, now that I know the history of my mum and dad's marriage, I totally understand why it would never, ever, ever work. Yeah. But when you're in business, you've got to be very, very strong. You've got to work together. They weren't working together. You've got to literally be each other's support. Like me and my husband are literally each other's support. My husband doesn't mind if I come out, and the fact that I did Big Brother, most men would be like, he was my biggest supporter, he's the one who encouraged me to do it. I was like, no babes, I'm gonna miss you. He was like, it's okay, I can watch you on TV every day. But trust me, when I come back, it was like, babes, I didn't think it was gonna be that hard. I missed you too much.
I was hugging the TV every time I saw you.
Yeah, I was sleeping with the TV. I thought that was my pillow.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
So,
it.
yeah, unfortunately, with my mum and dad, that was just a marriage of convenience. The parents were that it was like the parents had decided. My mum and my parents in our religion, you can marry as family. So my grandparents were brothers and sisters, like my dad's mom and my dad's dad. No, my mom's dad and my dad's mom. Do you get that? Were brothers and sisters. So they had already made an agreement that their children were going to get married.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But unfortunately, it was more my mum had a passport and my dad kind of pounced on the opportunity.
Right.
But it was kind of a loveless marriage.
Right. Okay.
It is what it is.
Did they try and make it work?
For 16, how old was my big brother when my dad died? I think they tried for 16 years, but it was looking back, I wish they'd got divorced earlier because it's soul destroying for the children. I think it's the wrong reasons. Keeping, staying married for the sake of your children and for the sake of what the community will say is not the right way. All we did was we flourished even more once they split up, because it's a horrible environment to live in when adults aren't either talking properly or it's not a happy, comfortable environment. Can you imagine it day in, day out, sometimes silence can be the worst thing. Or unfortunately my dad would bugger off to India for like how many weeks? 6 weeks, 8 weeks, leave mother with the bills.
Wow.
It is what it is, but it's part of my story, and it helps me appreciate, for example, my marriage.
What do you look for in a partner? So there's a lot of people nowadays, like, the world has become a very, very different place to how it was. Guys are different, women are different as well. Some women just want a rich guy, some want a guy with money, and some guys want, some cooperation from women, and it's like more competition with each other, who can earn the most money or who's got the better job, and how the household, rather than going, well, I like you for these attributes and you're going to like this about me and let's work together. I don't know if you've seen some of these random podcasts, like with maybe even Andrew Tate sort of being there, but it shows like a lady goes, I just need a rich man, and I wouldn't date a guy from sort of McDonald's or something like that. And then the podcast host was just like, well, why can a guy date a girl from McDonald's then? Why is it two different rules? Why can he bring a girl up but you couldn't bring a guy up? Like,
yeah,
obviously,
to be honest, myself, I was really, really scared of marriage.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't get married till I was 43 years old. And initially, when my husband approached me 2 years before, I told him to do one.
Wow.
Literally, he spotted me on social media and I was like, put your energy into, is that what you do? I received this text message and I was like, is that what you do? Tell a random girl that you like her? Put your energy into praying. And I kind of, said Toba Astaghfirullah, which basically means, in God, how dare you, that's disgraceful, sending random girl a message. And 2 years later, so that was it, I didn't hear from him, nothing. And then 2 years later, I get a text message with a picture of a ring saying, I've been praying to God for the last 2 years that one day I'll marry you.
Wow, that's so romantic.
I know, it's so cute. It really is, bless him. And I didn't know it was the same guy.
Wow.
And then it was the month of Ramadan. And normally in the month of Ramadan, if you're a bloke and you try to ring me, this is my time with my God. Yeah. Do not disturb my peace, kind of thing. And he approached me. He'd sent me this message. And then I was like, wow, I wonder who this is. This is like a random picture of a ring asking me to get married. So I decided to contact him, and he just blew me away. He was just so kind and so like gently spoken and so like respectful. And then I was like, well, it's the month of Ramadan, so you're going to have to wait till